I do appreciate the warning about the Wall Masters. It's really irritating to get caught off guard with them. Alright, here we go. I remember I had a lot of trouble in this room as a kid. What you have to do is shoot the eye through the fire so you can melt the ice. I used to have a lot of trouble with that as a kid. Got better with it as I got older though. I was trying to jump on the wrong thing anyway. You know, I never knew there were jars down here. There isn't a ladder up there, really? Jeez. Okay, that's definitely done to be a pain. Yep. I mentioned in Jabu Jabu's Belly that I like how all the dungeons have unique dungeon themes in this game, as opposed to the previous Zelda games. For the most part, the Forest Temple is the only one I actually remember. Okay, where does that lead? Because I don't need to go through there. Right, it leads outside to the chest. And a gold skulltula. No, gold skulltula's down there. If I do that, I'm not getting back up here. Because I've not set the Scarecrow's song. I have to go all the way around. I ain't doing that. Watch out for that. Thanks, Navi. So your viewpoint changes for this corridor. This hallway. 2 safe spots to really make your way to this switch and that chest. They're easy spots to notice that are safe because they have stuff on them. Alright, here we go. This is the block puzzle for the 3rd Poe Sister. Now this one's kind of weird. You have a minute to do this. If you don't do it in a minute, the room resets. You are thrown back to the start of the room, and you have to do this again. And you are given more time. There's not really a punishment for it. And there's not really a reward for getting it first time. Really weird. 3. Alright, that's good. Essentially, to move a block, a full block space is 3 pushes. But yeah, there's not a punishment for not getting it the first time. There's not a reward for getting it the first time. And now she's going to go invisible. No, she didn't. Awesome. It makes my life easier. Who's this one? Amy. And the last one's Meg, which means the first one was Joe. Joe or Jolene? Meg, Beth, Amy, Joe, Jolene. At least they're not going through the walls. It's weird, the arrow knockback isn't knocking them through the walls. I'm sure I've had times before where they do get knocked through the walls. And it's irritating because when they reappear like that, you can't hit them because they're in the wall. Alright, let's get through there. And this corridor leads us right back to the hall at the entrance. And now we've taken care of 3 of them, the 4th is waiting for us. And this fight goes a little differently. It's more interesting and it's not as tedious. So only one of these is real. The trick to it is to look for the one that's a little bit different. I'll let you figure it out. Because it's pretty obvious. Yeah, Meg. There she is. This should be the last hit. No, it isn't. Alright, 5 hits for all of them then. The smart thing to do is to not be in first-person aim while doing this. Because if you are, you're probably not going to see which is the real one. Alright. Where did those arrows drop? No, they must have disappeared. Alright, but let's head down here. This was essentially the goal of the entire dungeon. And the boss room is just over there. So we push this, and this rotates the room. And the goal here is to essentially get the boss door open. Or the corridor to the boss door open. And what we do is we essentially just push from here. Is this counterclockwise? Yeah. And every time we push, we'll end up with access to a room that'll open a switch that lets us access the next room. And we just keep doing it, and we end up able to get into the boss corridor. But one of these has a gold sculpture in. I know it does. I know it does. Okay, it's you. Pushing counterclockwise is the important thing. You have to remember that. Now, I know I said that we're not going after gold sculptures, and we're not. But we're going to grab any we can see on the way, because collectibles, yay! There you are. How many is that? 14. Alright. And the switch should be over there. No, it isn't. Okay, we continue. Push it some more. Don't mind as the camera clips through the wall again. And now we're back. We've opened the bottom one, and this last switch opens the boss corridor. It's a half rotation. You just start by going counterclockwise. Now this boss is kind of interesting because this entire room is actually a reference to the original intention for Ocarina of Time. The original design was that there wouldn't be an overworld like Hyrule Field. It would be a hub world in Ganon's Tower, and you'd go to different dungeons through paintings like in Super Mario 64. But it looks like there's no boss here, so let's just go. Huh. Ganondorf. Already? No, it's Phantom Ganon. I really do love the boss subtitles idea. So he jumps into one of the paintings and then comes out of one of the paintings. Best strategy, stand on one of the Triforces in the corner. Wait for him to come out. If you miss, he'll throw lightning down, but if you stand on one of the Triforces, the lightning will not hit you. Okay, not there. These two. Just there? No, it's this one. Damn it. So 2 of them will appear. Only 1 of them will actually come out. I think we only have to do this 3 times. They're right next to each other, that's good. And then he turns back around. If he appears in, say, this one, we can look at the painting from this angle. It's not there, so it's these two. Nice, got him. So if you look at that now, and you see the way the 3D model's actually looking like it's running up there. It's a pretty neat effect when you look at it from, say, here. It looks like it's running up the road, but it's actually just moving upwards and getting smaller. Not you. Nope. There we go. Now it's done. Now it changes. We have to reflect Phantom Ganon's magic. And this is a boss fight that began in A Link to the Past. It's continued here. I think it was brought back in Wind Waker. Definitely came back in Twilight Princess. The big trick here is actually getting the magic to reflect back in the right direction to hit him. Damn it. But this is why the Phantom Ganon fight is referred to as Magic Tennis. And it gets faster. And then we get over there, do the jump slash. Come on. Remember, the jump slash is worth like, I think it is double a standard attack. So the big thing with actually getting the angle right is distance. If he's too close to you, you're never going to get the angle on the attack right. Unless you get really lucky like that. So you want to get a good distance from him. Because then it's almost always guaranteed to head back towards him. But that's really the biggest issue of the fight, aiming the magic back at him. And that's it, Phantom Ganon. Yep, 4 dungeons and I'm only just gaining slight skill. Let's actually lie, the real fight against Ganon's easier. Well, against Ganondorf. Gotta remember, Ganon is the monster, Ganondorf is the person. It's one of those things you really gets kind of confusing when you're talking about it. Because Ganondorf is the human form, Ganon's the monster, but Ganon is the one that appeared in Zelda 1 in A Link to the Past. Even though Ganondorf appears in his human form in Wind Waker, he's referred to as Ganon there, but then he's referred to as Ganondorf again in Twilight Princess in his human form. So it's kind of confusing. We're back at the Chamber of Sages. We've saved the Forest Sage. Somehow. It's Saria. So the sages are, with the exception of Rauru, they are all people that we know. And once you become aware of where a temple is or what the temple is connected to, it's pretty easy to figure out who the sage is. I mean, who else was the forest sage going to be? Mido? And the same's true of the Fire Sage, the Water Sage, the Shadow Sage. The Spirit Sage we haven't met yet. But it becomes very obvious very quickly who the Spirit Sage is going to be. Oh, hey, we're back at the Great Deku Tree. I actually completely forgot about this cutscene. Link, you were on the ground for like a full second before you stopped screaming. Yeah, so this is the Deku Tree Sprout, who I guess is like the reincarnation of the spirit, the Great Deku Tree. Or like the next version of it. I don't know. It seems to have the memories of the Great Deku Tree. It seems to just be the Great Deku Tree reborn, but with all of its memories. Yep, Kokiri never grow up. They're always kids. Not a Kokiri. And so this leads to a question I have of the Kokiri never grow up. So there's the question of how old the Kokiri actually are. And this cutscene makes a point of Link was given to the Great Deku Tree as a baby. Were the Kokiri's babies at that point as well? Were the Kokiri created essentially to grow up with Link? Did the Kokiri exist before that? How old are the Kokiri? And if they existed before that, how come they never really knew about this? Did they have really short memories? But then if they do, how does Saria remember us? Is that because she's a sage? Mido remembers who we were, doesn't remember us now. And a bunch of the other Kokiri will mention that we remind them of us when we were younger, but they don't have any concept of someone growing up, which is understandable, I guess, because they never leave the forest. There's a bunch of questions to be raised about the whole thing. You also can't go into the Great Deku Tree as an adult. The only child dungeon you can go back into is the Dongo's Cavern. But all the Kokiri are back out now, because the Great Deku Tree Sprout is out. The monsters are all gone. Let's talk to another one. Is Fado up there? I forget if she's actually up there when you're an adult. Let's go take a look. She's there when you're a kid, but she actually has a little bit of story significance as an adult. So of course the Kokiri, there's been the connection of Zelda. There's been the connection of Zelda with Peter Pan before this, but the Kokiri really kind of solidify it. The children that never grow up. No, she's gone. But now what we're going to do is we are going to continue the bigger and sword side quest and take Kojiro to see his owner. It's nice to have the Kokiri forest back to normal though.